I'm going to check my thing, but in this video, this live stream, I'm just gonna be sharing my testimony. Wait, let me just make sure the volume on because I had that happen before where the volume wasn't on and I was going for a good minute. So let's make sure. I was going for a good minute. So let's make sure. Okay, we're good to go. So my name is Exandria, as you can see on this channel, and here you'll find ways to elevate you in the bonus part, and here you'll find ways to elevate you and also learn style tips to elevate you even more. And I have a whole bunch of other things. I talk about my dog. I really don't talk about my family that much, but you may see my grandmother featured on here, of course. So let me just give you the backstory behind why I am doing this video, because obviously, I just want to give my testimony of God and what he has done for me and continues to do for me, and also give him the glory. All thanks to him for everything that I even have in my life. And it's been on my heart to tell my testimony of how I got my job, my first job that I actually love. And I know y'all may hear about people saying, I've seen the TikTok or the Instagram reel, whatever it was, where they were saying that who dreams of work or who dreams of a job, but to be real, you might need that job to support your passions while you're going through it. And it doesn't mean that you have to have a job that you don't enjoy, that you don't feel like God has called you to. And I will talk about that a little bit more. So I decided to do this video because my friend, we were having a discussion. And I was just telling her, I did a prayer and everything. And I was telling her about my new job and how I just love it so much. And she said that this job is really, really made for you. It was really made for you. And I truly believe that. So she said, you should do a YouTube video about it. I said, I have, but do I really feel like editing? So to combat the editing part of this video, I just decided to go live. Also, if anybody has some real-time questions, if you have some real-time questions, obviously I think you can leave it after this live. I'm not sure if I'm eligible for them to leave the live up, but also ask your questions. So I have my little notes, and I actually have my prayer journal, and I bookmark the prayers that I actually written down. Obviously, I said them out loud as well, but let me get into it, what y'all came here for. So, my background, I have a degree, a bachelor's degree in, what do I have? Socials. Lord, I haven't looked at that thing in so much, but a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, which you can use that for social services. And my first career job was working at I'm grateful for all the jobs that I had, which I was saying, I'm grateful for all the jobs that I had because they definitely prepared me for my role and to actually know what I want. So I will say you will go through the bad jobs, you will go through the good jobs, but the bad jobs is definitely preparing and showing you what you don't want. But they're building your skills so you are ready for the career role. In my first career role was working at a detention center. And I hated it. I hated working at the detention center. Like some of the youth were okay, but I think what made it bad for me was I was young, my first career role. I felt stuck, and I felt like the company did not care about its workers. I was being, I don't even know if I can say the word on here, but definitely harassed a lot by the kids. Like, kids is ruthless. But I know that was there to impact the children that I did impact. I really love working with them. I have my issues. And I always say I leave my issues at the door, especially when I'm dealing with clients. And also in this role, I transferred to being a supervised visitation worker. I transferred to what was next? I was a support worker in the community, and I feel like I did something else. Oh, I was a juvenile monitoring worker. But in those 5 years, I was not happy at my job. I want to say the best thing that happened in that job was me being able to make friends, real friends. You know how they say you leave a job and you don't talk to your coworker friends, like that's how you know they were just work friends. I was able to, all the people that I'm cool with, that I was cool with at my job, the ones the closest with, we still talk to this day and hang out. And I believe we have all left. Have we? Except for one person is still at the company, but everybody else has already left. So that was the great thing that I got from there, was the people I met that encouraged me, and also the skills that I learned to prepare me for my next role. So 3 years, I had been thinking about quitting my job. I said, it's time for me to quit my job. I was telling everybody, it's time for me to quit my job. It is time for me to quit my job. It's time for me to quit my job. But um I felt God was telling me that, and I was very scared because normal questions, well, God, if you want me to quit my job, how am I going to provide for myself and my family? And I don't have children yet, but it's my husband. Well, I do got fur babies, a cat and a dog. If you want to see Fancy, she just made her first dog influencer reel. Yeah, period. But how am I going to provide for my family? How am I going to help my husband with the bills? Because we do go half. I just didn't want to. It was just, Lord, how? Okay, you want me to quit my job, but I'm not seeing the substitute in the income of where it's going to come. So that's what took me 3 years. And I had a discussion with a friend, and I came up with being a virtual assistant. Um, and I was really pushing that. Got my first client that was helping with the bills, got my second, and my third. I really didn't have, I had a few inquiries, but then that was starting to become draining. Being a virtual assistant, people not wanting to pay your value. And I would offer email management, content creation, social media management, stuff like that. But people were not paying my value. I was becoming very depressed when when I did not have a job, and other things. So I know that I'm a girl who likes to work and have her own money now, with being self-employed for a year, which I'm grateful to God for even allowing me to last that long with being self-employed. And what I noticed, what I learned in virtual assistants, and now I honestly don't want to educate others on content creation, like do this. I don't want to be an educator. I'm more of an educator for um what is it, an educator for empowering the next generation of women, especially Black women, is my passion. I want to do that. I want to do public speaking. I want to live a lifestyle where I can travel and get paid for it, like just be me and get paid for it, but also doing what I love. And most importantly, doing God's purpose. Let me share this live. Yo, I didn't know you can share. Well, this is my first time doing on the webcam. Post to Facebook. So money was getting tight. Okay, money was getting tight. My husband was communicating to me like, Xandria, I need you to help, like you need to get something right now, because the person that I was working for, that was literally, that I had one consistent client that was literally, was good for my bills each month. But then, things started happening, not with the client, just business goes up and down. And my husband, he was pulling out our savings to pay bills and stuff. And he communicated, which I know, I think the number one thing that causes divorces is finances. So I'm glad that my husband, he was communicating to me, like I'm getting stressed about the bills, even though I've been handling, like, it's time for you to get a job, even if it's part-time. My husband and I actually made a deal. So before I even quit my job, I saved up 6 months of bills to help with that. And then me and my husband made a deal that if after a year, if the money ain't flowing, that I would get a job. That was the deal. And I had to stick to it. And I'm sticking to it. Excuse me, I have to burp, I think. So that was the deal, and I stuck to it, and I started looking for a job. But before I started looking for a job, excuse me. Before I started looking for a job, I said a prayer to God. And I wrote it down in my journal. And if you're a person that doesn't know how to pray, or how I call it just a conversation with God, that is what my first lady of my church that I attend say. It's just having a conversation with God. You don't have to do what makes you comfortable, but also honor God. And so, what was the first prayer? My first prayer was in August. I want to say it took me 3 months to get my position that I absolutely love. What is it? So I was asking for, I said, Lord, I ask you for courage and the ability to communicate effectively during these interviews, and let your will be done. I ask for more serving opportunities to be brought to me that bring me joy and serve your kingdom as well. Lord, I thank you. And then another prayer I did, I know I marked them. Another prayer that I did was, I know it was some more. I swear I had some more. I got the job, all thanks to you, Lord. Let me see. I know I had another one. Okay, yeah, I did. So for this one, I told God my worries. I said, do you want me to even get a job, Lord? Is that of great importance to you over my life right now? And I was talking about my husband, bills, they need to get paid. And what I said, I definitely struggle with just taking any job for money, but definitely would want to do something that I would love rather than dread, but also wouldn't mind taking it and sacrificing for the time being. And when it comes to your prayer, I learned to be intentional about what I wanted. I knew that I wanted a job where there was flexibility, where I wouldn't be sacrificing my family time. I wouldn't be sacrificing time with my husband or my fur babies. I wouldn't be sacrificing my emotional, mental, and physical and overall well-being with being in this job. I wouldn't be sacrificing life to live life. I wouldn't be sacrificing my time with God. I wanted a job that would help me, that wouldn't keep me stagnant. With the job I left that I was at for 5 years, it was growth within, like learning communication as far as that, typing, how to approach situations, conflict resolution. But as far as growth within the company or investing in their workers, it wasn't there. Like any position I moved from, it was like a slide. And I wonder if you call it a slide to the left or a slide to the right, but it was never a slide to grow or go further. And I also, for at that old job, they wanted to pay you crumbs, but have you working 24 hours. I had a phone on me all the time. I did not like that job. So when I started praying for a job that I actually wanted, I was very intentional. Like, I want flexibility. I want it to be virtual. I wanted to not have to be in the office all the time. I wanted to have a team where we could grow. I wanted to have a team of coworkers like the last job I left, because that was absolutely amazing. And I also wanted God to put me where He wanted me. Put me where you want me to be. I don't want to just be telling you everything I want. So when I was praying about the kind of job I wanted, I was very intentional about asking God and telling Him what I wanted, but also saying, if this is your will, let it be done. But if this is not your will, take these thoughts and ask away from me and put your purpose in replacement of that. And so I started looking for jobs, praying, looking for jobs. I was getting interviews back to back to back to back. I was getting callbacks. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. This ain't never happened to me, where, I had a selection of jobs that I could choose from. I was getting interviews. The resume was working. And I just had to tell God, thank you. Like, it was getting crazy. And it was a good crazy though. And I was telling, I was very astonished, because during the 5 years that I was at my other job, I could not get a call back if I did. I could not get an interview. I think I got one interview out of the 5 years when I was applying jobs while I was working there. And during this time, I was getting a lot. But God has a way of the timing. You think it's your timing, but He like, nah, girl, it's not your time, it's my time. And I need you to be prepared. So you got to go through this. You got to go through these stages. So, and that's how I ended up in my position today. And let me just tell y'all before I get to rambling. So when searching for a job with intention, always think quality over quantity. I remember back in the day, I would just be looking for a job. Oh, it requires a bachelor's degree in social services or criminal justice. I have that, so let me apply for it. Or I would be looking at the pay and say, oh, let me apply for it, just to be applying. And that is an easy way that you can get burnt out, speaking from experience. And I could not find her Instagram, her LinkedIn. And she had told me, when you're looking for a job, look for quality over quantity. People get into the habit of just applying to apply instead of applying for what they want, or counting themselves out from a position because they don't meet all the requirements. Apply for those positions, because most likely you meet the requirements and they got to train you anyway. Okay. So that's how I was searching. I wanted a leadership role. I wanted to work with women. I specifically wanted to work for equity for women, but focused it on Black women and getting equity for them. And then what else? So when I was looking for these jobs, I wrote it down, and what were the key qualities or the key things in this position that I could look up the keywords for to find these certain positions. So it was leadership roles. And kid you not, I went on LinkedIn, typed in leadership positions, and this is where this role popped up at midnight. So let's see, what else did I say? LinkedIn was my best friend in searching for a job position and being nosy of what the job position was about. I found people that help with resume writing, who could help you with answering questions with interviews. And for example, for an interview question, I know a lot of people struggle with this. Well, I'm gonna speak for myself. I struggle with this question. So tell me about yourself. And I used to always give, I grew up in Racine. I'm from a single parent home. I, came from down south. They don't care about none of that. So when I went on TikTok and looked up specific questions that I struggle with and how to answer them, the great answer, and I'll never forget it. So if I ever have to use it again, I'm gonna say it now so y'all can use it. Well, I graduated from UW Carthage. I graduated from UW Carthage in 2015 with a bachelor's degree in now I did an internship at so and so. And after my internship, I had gained a position, my first career role doing social work at so and so. And now, I'm looking for an opportunity to use my skills, but also grow them with working with women in leadership, like this role right now. That probably was all over the place, but use TikTok, use LinkedIn, use YouTube. It's so much free information out here to help you with the interview, answering these questions that can be difficult, that was once gate kept. Definitely use it. What else do I have here? Yeah, I did a lot of research and I updated my LinkedIn profile. So one of the people that when it came to my resume and I had to update it, it's called a 6-figure resume template. And I will be linking this down below if this saves or put in a post or something. The person that he gives a free 6-figure template, and I swear by it. I think the only reason that people think to call you, because I hate that they can't see you in person. They can't say, oh, you're doing this, you good at this. You really have to sell yourself on paper. And his 6-figure resume, I don't think I would have even gotten a call back, because I think my submission was the last one. I don't think I would have gotten a call back if it was a regular, the old school way of doing a template. So Sam Strong, his name is SAM. I could type it in here in the chat just in case people. Well, I'll type it somewhere else. His name is Sam Strong, and he has the 6-figure template free download. And just go download it if you need a resume. Like, you need to do something with your resume. Make that resume represent you in the right way. Bars. So the next person was Andrea Long. She does resume tips too all the time, and she also shares job opportunities that may come available. She has very, very good tips if they come available. What else? And practice for your interview. I practice with my grandma. I practice with my grandmother for my interview because she is very, what's the word? I don't want to say nitpicking, because that's not the word, but it's coming to my mind. I want to say, okay, my grandma is the type of person, you show her a picture, she looking at the background, and she ain't looking at the person in the picture, nobody. She looking at the background, trying to see some type of what's the word? She trying to see some type of flaw. She trying to see some type of flaw. So that's why I picked my grandma. Besides the fact that she's really awesome and really smart, really intelligent lady, that's why I love her so much. So we practiced my interview. We did 2 days of practicing, and it was rigorous, if that's the word. It was intense. My granny made it intense. It was a interview boot camp. And I also used ChatGPT for, like, how would you answer this question if asked in a interview related to this role? How would you ask this question? And, like, how would you ask, but how would you answer this question to make it relatable to this role? So use ChatGPT. If you have someone you can practice with to interview, please do. I was so prepared for my interview. They were like, do you have any questions for us? Because I had answered so well, and it was a virtual interview, and you could see people facial expressions. So I knew when I was answering stuff, they was like, yes, yes, I have my makeup done, my hair was on 10, okay, don't play with it. And my red lipstick was on. So practice for your interview. And if you don't have anything, because I know I'm very privileged to have my family that helps me. I'm very privileged to have a family that wants to help me and see me win and makes time for that. I recommend going to your college, watching some YouTube videos. They have YouTube videos, I think, where a person is asking the question, like if I was asking the question, why do you want to work here? You can say it, they give a little time. Or go to your local library or your local human services department and say, hey, I need help practicing for an interview. That is what they are there for. So definitely practice, use your resources that are free, and go do it. Or ask a random person, like, hey, I need help with practicing for this interview. And just dress your best. I'm a huge stickler for that. Remember, people are judging you right out the gates of before they even interview you, see you, talk to you. They're judging you off your appearance first. So always look your best. I've even noticed, I don't know if this is like that in y'all area, where people are. I was working at a school with teenagers and they would have on the jeans and a t-shirt. So I say, you going to an interview? You going to an interview? So, but you don't know what you don't know. So I try not to judge real seriously. So, with me getting that job, looking like it just fell in my lap. I'm saying that, but God really blessed me to get the job career role that I absolutely love. I post on my LinkedIn about it. I posted on here about it. And in this role, I'm just allowed to grow and meet so many fantastic women that are doing amazing things, men as well. I have learned so much in 4 months than I did in 5 years. Well, I learned stuff in 5 years, but I feel like I've grown in 4 months a lot in this position. And I'm just grateful to God. So, what I will say is just keep praying. Do not give up. Keep praying, keep praying, keep praying. Because in the beginning years of my career, I'm just like, nobody will give me a chance. And I hate that we're looking for somebody with some experience. Okay. Well, you got to hire somebody so they can get the experience. So, and in this role, I get to help future women leaders like become more confident and strong leaders. It's actually helping me with my speaking skills. It's making me learn how to conversate with others, but not a generic conversation, but actually connecting with people and not just like remembering who I connect with and they remember me. And God is just so good. God is just so, so good. That is all I have. My first YouTube live in a minute. I'm gonna continue to do them because this is actually pretty nice. And if you're watching this after, if this lets me do that, just let me know. Oh wait, let me get some content real quick. I have to record talking to y'all. So if let's see. Y'all know I'm gonna get the content, okay? So if you are in doubt, are you like these jobs ain't cutting it? Like I'm ready to give up. Don't. God has something amazing for you, and He is just preparing you for that. Could Exandria in the beginning function in this job effectively? The version of Exandria 6, 7 years ago? No. So it took what I went through, the things I went through, especially career wise, or even in the community networking. I think God was just waiting for me to become who He always known me to be and created me to be. So yeah. But thank y'all for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning into my channel. I recently just reached 500 subscribers. I'm super excited about that, and I will be doing a giveaway soon. But yeah, let me get a thumbnail because I don't know how this gonna be. All right, bye y'all.